𝐾𝐡𝐚𝐬𝐽 Tapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Yamdadati Swapadam Pandiham Sri Gurun Sri Tapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Sativam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakantam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namasute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Hari Vrindavanishwari Vrisavana Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vantapur Putaru Vyascha Kripa Sandhivyaevacha Patitanam Pavanavyo Navyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srimad Bhagavad Gita 𝐶𝐤𝐥𝐢𝐬𝐬 Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita 𝐶𝐤𝐥𝐢𝐬𝐬 chapter 14. The three modes of material nature. I'm looking at text 1 and 2. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Parambuya Prabhakshami Dhyananam Dhyanamuttamam Yat-gyatva Munaya Sarve Param Siddhim Ito Gataha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of God, had said, Param, transcendental. Uyaha, again, Rakshami, I shall speak. Jnanam, of all knowledge. Jnanam, knowledge. Uttamam, the supreme. Jat, which. Gatva, knowing. Munaya, the sages. Sarave, all. Param, transcendental. Siddhim, perfection. Itaha, from this world. Kataha, attain. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhakti Swami. The Supreme Personality of God had said, again I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection. Krishna said here, I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, which is the base of all knowledge. And what is the result? The Krishna said, knowing which all the sages have attained a supreme perfection. In other words, Krishna is giving us assurance. Krishna is not giving us experimental knowledge. It's something that we have to make experiment, make a research to see if it is true or it is not true. Is it good for me or not good for me? Is it something that I really need or something that is optional? Krishna making it emphatically that the sages attain perfection by this. In other words, Krishna is saying, Arjuna, or all of us, if we follow this, we will also attain to the same destination, the same thing, which was attained by the sages. This is very important for an intelligent person. If one wants to go to school, or if one wants to get a good job, it is better to look at the record of that school or the company. Has there, what are the life of those who have graduated from this school? What is their situation in the field, in the world, in the community? What is the life of those who have joined this company? What is their life? They are successful, they have a successful, fulfilled life. So Krishna is making it very, very specific. Anyone who follows this knowledge, this Parampuja, which is what? It's a supreme wisdom. It's a supreme wisdom. Krishna is telling us, if we follow this path, if we follow this supreme wisdom, it is not just knowledge, it is wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge which is realized. It's the other place Krishna says, Gyan, big Gyan. Gyan is knowledge. But big Gyan means the realized knowledge, realization. So this supreme knowledge, Krishna is promising, if you get this supreme knowledge, you will be in the same situation with the previous sages. The sages who follow this path, they attain perfection. They attain supreme perfection. So anyone who follow this path, anyone who follow this Krishna consciousness, anyone who follow this instruction in Krishna given by Gita, he's going to expand it in the next verse. The Krishna is promising us a supreme perfection if you follow this process. So it's not just knowledge. It is a realized knowledge. And Krishna is giving parampuja, not just ordinary words. And in 18th chapter, he used the word param vacha. Here he used parampuja. Param vacha. The conclusion of all spoken words, the conclusion of words, importance of words, the meaning, the purpose for something to be spoken. It is supreme. So Krishna is saying, this knowledge is supreme and to give us a supreme destination if we follow it. Therefore, one should not doubt Krishna consciousness. One should not doubt our Gita. In chapter 4, Krishna also told you the same thing. That before us, people who follow this knowledge attain perfection. Similarly, if we follow this, we will also attain perfection. That is just it. I will give an example of a college or a company. If we know that in this university, all those who graduated from this university, they have a better place in the society, one would like to go to that school. If we know that in this company, anyone who works here will have a fulfilled life, one will seek an employment in that company. So if one follows this instruction about Gita, it is certain, it is guaranteed that we are going to get to the professional stage. We're going to get to the supreme destination. So Prabhupada explained in the purpose. In the purpose, the Prabhupada said, from the 7th chapter to the end of 12th chapter, Shri Krishna in detail reveals the absolute truth, a supreme personality of Godhead. Now the Lord himself is further enlightening Arjuna. If one understands this chapter through the process of philosophical speculation, he will come to an understanding of devotional service. And that is the importance of knowledge. The knowledge will help us to understand what we're supposed to do and how it should be done. In the 13th chapter, it was clearly explained that by humbly developing knowledge, one may possibly be freed from material entanglement. It has also been explained that it is due to association with the modes of nature. A living entity is entangled in this material world. Now, in this chapter, chapter 14, the Supreme Personality explains what those modes of nature are, how they act, how they bind, and how they give liberation. The knowledge explained in this chapter is proclaimed by the Supreme Lord to be superior to the knowledge given so far in other chapters. By understanding this knowledge, various great stages attain perfection and transfer to the spiritual world. The Lord now explains the same knowledge in a better way. This knowledge is far, far superior to all other processes of knowledge thus far explained. And knowing this, many attain perfection. Thus, it is expected that one who's understands this 14th chapter will attain perfection. Yes. Yes. If you look very carefully, you'll see chapter 12. The heading is devotional service. And chapter 14, the three modes of material nature. Which one is better? Devotional service or three modes of material nature? Which one is better? Devotional service or three modes of material nature? Which one is better? You can answer me, no problem.
Maharaj, devotional service.
Devotional service.
I vote for that one too.
Huh?
I would vote for chapter 12 too, Maharaj.
Okay. Thank you. Of 14 and 12, which one is higher? 12 and 14, which one is higher? 12 and 14. If I place $12,000 before you and $14,000 before you, which one will you take?
14,000.
14,000. And then you are telling me that devotional service, which is a 12th chapter, and mode of nature, which is in 14th chapter, is better. I say devotional service is better at the lower stage. Three mode of nature is higher. So you're telling me the devotional service is better? How is that better? when you will accept $14,000 instead of $12,000? What is your explanation for that? And when you look at the end of the purport, Prabhupada said, this knowledge is far, far superior to all other processes of knowledge, those so far explained. I mean, this knowledge is superior to chapter 12. And knowing this, many attain perfection. Thus, it is expected that one who understands this 14th chapter will attain perfection. You see? Prabhupada didn't say that in chapter 12. He's saying that in chapter 14, a true mode of nature. So yes, all of you are correct. You are correct in what we have said. The thing is that in this material world, what is predominating is not devotional service. What is predominating this material world is the true mode of material nature. Therefore, material nature, it is very, very strong. Trigunamayi. Very, very strong, very, very strong, that also affect our devotional service because we are in the mood. Devotional service is not in the mood, but because we are in the mood, we practice Krishna consciousness, although it is transcendental and pure, we practice it in the mode of nature. Kapil Muni explained this in the 10th canto of Bhagavad. We practice devotional service in the mode of ignorance, in the mode of passion, in the mode of goodness, and transcendental Krishna consciousness. So that transcendental Krishna consciousness is not within the mood. That is not within the mood. It is above the moods, and it is devotional service above the mood of nature that will take us back, come back to Godhead. Not devotional service within the mood, even if it is goodness. Goodness is important because it helps us to practice devotional service, which will help us to transcend the whole mode of nature. So Krishna has put it here in the chapter 14 because the true mode of nature is actually dominating everything in this material world. Therefore, it is very, very important. And Krishna is saying, if one understands this, will be freed from material existence. If you understand the mode, so Prabhupada said, Krishna gave us the techniques, he gave us the process. And Prabhupada explained. Now, in this chapter, the Supreme Personality explains what those modes of nature are, how they act, how they bind, and how they give liberation. Therefore, this knowledge explained in this chapter is given so far in other chapters, and proclaimed by the Supreme Lord to be superior to the knowledge given so far in other chapters, because it is this knowledge that is going to give us complete freedom, that we will leave this material world and go back to Godhead. Therefore, this knowledge is very, very important, very, very important. So important. Krishna continued to explain it in the second verse. Idam Dhyanam Upashritya Mama Sadhara Amyam Agataha Sarege Pi Nopadayante Palaye Na Yatanticha. By becoming fixed in this knowledge, Idam Dhyanam Upashritya, by taking shelter, become fixed in this knowledge, dealing with the three modes of nature, which Krishna carefully explained how the mode of nature acts, how they bind us, and how we can attain liberation from the mode of nature. If we get this knowledge, Krishna is saying, if one becomes fixed, if one takes shelter of this knowledge, what will happen? What will happen to us? Mama Sadharamyam Agataha. Mama Sadharamyam Agataha. Krishna said, one will attain to the same nature like my own. Mama Sadharamyam Agataha. One will attain to the transcendental nature of Krishna. This is the superior nature of this chapter, this knowledge, the knowledge which is given in this chapter. So Krishna said this knowledge will help us to attain to the transcendental nature like him. And we know Krishna's nature is what? Satchidananda. This is Krishna's nature. So Krishna is promising that he will get to this stage, will get to this knowledge, will become like him, will attain transcendental knowledge which will promote us to what? To Krishna's nature, which is Sat Chit Ananda. This is the importance of this knowledge. So Krishna is recommending, Idam Gyanamu Pashutya, let us take shelter of this knowledge given in this chapter 14. Let us take shelter. Krishna is not talking about knowledge which is giving us taking us to Brahmajyoti. That is not the knowledge Krishna is giving here. This knowledge will free us from Brahmajyoti. It will free us from merging into Krishna. This knowledge will free us completely from everything material, all the necessary things. This knowledge is what? Parambuja. Parambuja. It's not ordinary knowledge, not a speculative knowledge, but the knowledge which will take us to the supreme destination. Because it's going to teach us how to get to Krishna's transcendental nature. And how do one know? How do one know that I have attained that nature? How do one know that I'm already on that platform? The Krishna said, Sarige pi no padayanti pralaye na yatanti cha. This is the symptom. This is the qualification. This is what one will experience. Krishna said, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. How do I know I'm there? Those established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. No more birth and death. No more creation will not be affected by that. One journalist, one stubborn journalist who likes to ridicule any person that interviewed. And people know him to be radical. So when Prabhupada was going to speak on that station, the devotee advised Prabhupada should not go because the man is going to make offense. And by asking so many ridiculous questions, embarrassing questions. The Prabhupada said, I will go. Since this is preaching, I am ready to take any insult to preach. That's the devotee's nature. A devotee is ready to make any sacrifice to advertise Krishna, to glorify Krishna, to serve Krishna. A devotee is ready to do anything. A devotee is ready to do anything which will glorify Krishna, which will promote Krishna, which will expand Krishna's glory and make Krishna available for conditions to have access to. Devotees are ready to make any sacrifice. They are ready to take any risk to help us get to that platform. So Prabhupada said, I will go, let me go. I'm going to speak about Krishna. Maybe his taunt will be maybe one or two questions. And exactly, it will not disturb me from passing on the message. It will not disturb me from passing on the message. And devotees are very intelligent, very pure devotees, very intelligent, very sharp. You cannot deceive pure devotees. You cannot deceive pure devotees. You can plan devotees. Devotees say always plan ahead because Krishna is always ahead. So also pure devotees are always ahead of whatever anyone thinks or plan to do in our minds. So devotees knows that you are asking questions to divert my attention from speaking. So generally, devotees they already have what they're going to say. Whatever question you ask, they are going to say what they have in mind to say. In this way, they will present Krishna and leave you with your nonsense. So Srila Prabhupada went for the interview. And as usual, the man started his nonsensical questions and embarrassing questions. And Prabhupada was punching his face and at the same time presenting his Krishna consciousness systematically going on that. And then the man took a break because Prabhupada was blasting him also. So he took a break to go and refresh himself. The colleague, who was a lady, continued with the interview. And when the man composed himself and he came back, and then the man said, Swamiji, you are speaking about going back home, back to Godhead, back to Godhead, back to Godhead. And their movement is designed to train you to go back home, back to Godhead, back to Godhead, back to Godhead. Suppose the whole world become Christian and went back to Godhead. What will happen to this world? Eh? You are preaching this. We're going back. If everybody take to Krishna consciousness and go back to Godhead, and then what will happen to this world? Empty? What do you think will happen to this world? This was the last. It was the last question, and the answer put an end to the interview. For this time. The Prabhupada fixed his cane very strong on the ground. And he composed himself for a while. And he looked at the man very strong to the face and said, "Don't worry. Rascals like you will never go to Krishna consciousness and go back to Godhead. So the world will not be empty for people like you." That was the end of the interview. It was dead silence from the devotees and from the moderators. Dead silence. And Prabhupada also didn't speak again. And he stood up and everybody left today. Even on the way to the temple, no devotee said anything. And usually the devotee will ask questions. Nobody asked questions on the way until they got to the temple. Then Prabhupada looked at the devotees and he said, "I am an old man, so I can do like that, so don't worry." So in this way, Krishna presented his Krishna consciousness, despite the nonsense questions and ridicules from the moderator. So that is the nature of Krishna consciousness. Krishna is giving us the knowledge which will not take us to Brahman, the knowledge which will take us not even to Paramatma, the knowledge which will take us back home, back to Godhead. That is the knowledge Krishna is giving you. So one will not be disturbed. What will happen to this world if everybody goes back home? If everybody goes back home, back to Godhead, what will happen to this world? Krishna said, that will not be a problem for you. That should not be a problem. If that man was reading Bhagavad Gita, he wouldn't have asked Prabhupada this question. So asking the question means that he's ignorant of the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, the teachings of Krishna. So we will not be disturbed when the dissolution is taking place or when one is taking birth here. There will be no disturbance. When we're free, because the devotee comes here to come and preach Krishna consciousness, not to come and gratify him, but to come and preach Krishna consciousness. So it has nothing to do with what is happening here than to give opportunity for those who are very fortunate to go back home, back to Godhead. So, the Prabhupada said in a purport, after acquiring perfect transcendental knowledge, one acquires qualitative equality with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, becoming free from the repetition of birth and death. One does not, however, lose his identity as individual soul. It is understood from Vedic literature that the liberated souls who have reached the transcendental planet of the spiritual sky always look to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, Om Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam, being engaged in his transcendental loving service. So even after liberation, the devotee does not lose their individual identities. Our individuality is eternal. This is what this knowledge will give us. We are individually. Our individuality is eternal. It's eternal. Not that at a certain point we're going to merge and become nothing or become one with Krishna. No. It will not be like that, because Lord Krishna personally separated us from him for his enjoyment. So has Krishna finished his enjoyment? Krishna has not finished his enjoyment. Krishna expanded us to give him enjoyment, the pleasure which he wants by service. So service is eternal. Our existence is eternal. Krishna is eternal. And enjoyment is eternal. So what is the question of merging? Merging to what? Krishna has not finished enjoyment. So there's no question of finishing anyone or finishing anything. So merging into Krishna is foolishness, is lack of knowledge. Prabhupada will say, due to poor fund of knowledge. So we should know the reason why Krishna created us. Krishna did not create us to come and struggle for existence in the material world. That is not the purpose of our creation. Our Krishna creating us, Krishna sending us here. Krishna did not create us to come and suffer here as we are suffering. No, that is not the purpose. Krishna created us for his enjoyment. Krishna wants to enjoy. Eko bahu shahami. Krishna said, I am one. Let me become many. For what? For enjoyment. Therefore, we will remain eternal. To render eternal service to the eternal enjoyment of Krishna. So it's eternal. There's no question of merging. We're eternal beings and we remain eternal. That knowledge which is taking one out to the true mode of material nature is what Krishna is giving. Not to merge into Brahman, but to merge into Param Brahma. That is the knowledge Krishna is giving here, that we maintain our individuality to continue with our service. Generally, in the material world, whatever knowledge we get is contaminated by the true mode of material. Knowledge which is not contaminated by the true mode of nature is called transcendental knowledge. As soon as one is situated in that transcendental knowledge, he is on the same platform as the Supreme Person. He is on the same platform as the Supreme Person. Meaning what? Now we are on that platform of Satchidananda Vigraha. Satchidananda Vigraha. We are on that platform. Krishna already promised us that we will attend to his nature. Krishna did not say you're going to merge into me. Krishna said you will attend to the same nature with me. You will come to join me for enjoyment. You're going to join me for enjoyment. Even here in the material world, if a man wants to enjoy, if a woman wants to enjoy, what do? You have to get somebody else to join with you. So if you call somebody to join with you to enjoy, do you become one? There's no man again, there's no woman again. No, it still remains a woman, it still remains man. And that continues until the time for this body is over. Then we can change the body. And changing the body will not mean that it's the end of our existence. That is just to renew the body and continue to exist. So changing body is Solange Bhakti Maharaj said, changing body, death is what? Is to remove everything which is temporal from the real thing. That is there. So it's to help us to change the body, to remove the unnecessary thing and put us on that which is necessary. Of course, because we have become accustomed to suffering, we will put ourselves again in a situation where we will get another material body, which is originally a problem. So he is on the same platform as the Supreme Person. Yes, we are now on a transcendental platform for the Krishna. That knowledge is never contaminated by the three modes of material nature. Three modes of nature is contamination. So this knowledge, Parambuja, is the knowledge which will take us above the contaminations of material mode of nature to become one with Krishna in consciousness. We are one with Krishna in interest. If people cooperate For people to cooperate together does not mean I don't have my existence, you don't have the existence. It doesn't mean I don't have my idea, you don't have the idea. Cooperation means that our ideas will unite together so we can do so we can function better. So Krishna is giving us opportunity so we can have a better system of functioning, which is natural for the soul to function properly, for which we are meant for or made for. We need this knowledge, and Krishna is giving it to us. Those who have no knowledge of the spiritual sky hold that after being freed for the material activities or the material form, this spiritual identity becomes formless. How? How that? Without any variegatedness. How? How is that? How is that? What is the proof? What is the qualification for us to do that? What's the qualification? What's the qualification that we will lose our identity and become formless? What is the qualification? Huh? What qualifies us for that? Because we have never been formless before. And in the real sense, there's nothing like formlessness. Formlessness does not exist. Even the sound we are vibrating has a form. Because anything which occupies space is what? That is form. Anything which occupies space is form. Sound occupies space, this is form. Light occupies space, this is form. So material things will deteriorate and disintegrate. But spirituality does not disintegrate because it is not temporal, it is eternal. So Bhagavad told us already that that which is eternal, that which is permanent cannot be destroyed. That which is permanent, that which is eternal, is permanent, cannot be destroyed. And that which is not permanent, which is temporal, cannot be maintained because that is how things are made. That is how things are constituted. The constitution of the soul is that it's eternal, a part and parcel of Krishna. And the constitution of material energy is that it's temporal. It will disintegrate in due course of time. But the soul does not disintegrate because it is eternal being. So the philosophy of formlessness is ignorance, and it is due to frustration. Ignorance brings suffering, it brings anxiety. Therefore, out of frustration, of anxiety, and people can speculate like this. Variegatedness is life. Variegatedness is life. Variegatedness is not condemned. What is variety? What is variegated? What is variety? If variety is the mode of enjoyment. If you eat rice, morning, afternoon, evening, rice, morning, afternoon, evening, rice, morning, afternoon, evening, morning, afternoon, evening, rice. How will you feel? If you eat fried rice, yogurt rice, tomato rice, in Nigeria they say jollof rice. Tomato rice, they say jollof rice. And sweet rice. Biryani is a combination. So how will you feel? It is tasty. It is live. You feel joyful. You're expecting variety. You're expecting. Otherwise, why people are accustomed to buying so many things, even though we don't need it? I visited one of our land members here in Nigeria, and he showed me his garage. There were 25 cars. 25 cars inside his garage. His garage is not a motor dealer. That is private cars. 25 different. different brand of cars, 25 cars in his compound. That is what he uses. What is the idea behind that? It is for enjoyment. And that enjoyment is coming from, because variety is a mode of enjoyment. Therefore, the soul always hanker for varieties to enjoy. What is the purpose of interplanetary traveling? People want to travel. What people are going from one country to another country. It is the same self-gratification they are looking for. They want to taste in that side. They want to taste in this side. It is the same thing. The same rice are going to eat, you are going to eat over there. But why should one live here to go to that side to eat the same rice? Because you need varieties. The environment, the people. So how is variegatedness a problem? Because we are conditioned, we are in ignorance. Variegatedness is not bad. It is for enjoyment. It is for enjoyment. So those who know how to enjoy, they have varieties. So when this man is going out on Tuesday, he's going to use one car. He's going on Monday, he's going to use another car. He's going on Wednesday, he's going to use another car. So it's varieties of cars. Both of them are cars, but they have different brands, different names. Therefore, he's using that. And when he enters the car, he's very joyful, he's very happy. If you're going to use one car every time, even though it is functioning, it is giving you the service you want, one will still feel empty because that's the nature of the soul. You need varieties to enjoy. Therefore, in the spiritual world, there are unlimited varieties of facility for gratification of senses. So actually, the greatest sense gratification, the greatest sense gratifiers are the devotees in the spiritual world with the Supreme Master, Lord Sri Krishna, the beautiful. And we are told that Lord Krishna's beauty increases every moment. Every moment. The Krishna's the devotees, the pure devotees of Krishna, they see Krishna fresh every moment. What is that? What is the idea? What is the idea of being Krishna being fresh every moment? Krishna is fresh every moment because that increases the enjoyment. So that, oh, I've seen you yesterday, I'm tired of seeing your face. No, Krishna, Krishna remains Krishna, but the quality continues to increase. Why? To give us enjoyment, to give that enjoyment, that taste, that feeling which we need. Krishna increases in quality. In the spiritual world, the same thing happens, but everything else in the spiritual world, the quality increases every moment. And so variety is important for the devotees. So Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness is not stale, it's not hackneyed. It is joyful all the time because the quality increases all the time. All the time. However, just as there is material variegatedness in this world, in the spiritual world, there is also variegatedness. There is also variegatedness because the material take its existence from the spiritual. Those in ignorance of this think that spiritual existence is opposed to material variety. But actually, in the spiritual sky, one attains a spiritual form. There are spiritual activities, and the spiritual situation is called devotional life. That atmosphere is said to be uncontaminated. And there, one is equal in quality with the Supreme Lord. To obtain such knowledge, one must develop all the spiritual qualities. One who does develops the spiritual qualities is not affected either by the creation or by the destruction of the material world. Hare Krishna. Comments? Question?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances as the dust of your lotus feet.
Thank you very much.
Guru Maharaj, you mentioned during the lecture that we are in the modes, but because we are practicing devotional service in modes, That's a problem. And then you mentioned that this knowledge will enable us to rise, enable us to practice devotional service above the moods. So the question is how we can practice our devotional service so that we can rise above the moods.
And towards the end of this chapter, Krishna gave the answer. Towards the end, Krishna gave the answer. That is in text 26. Krishna gave the answer in text 26. Mam kayu agni charena, bhakti yogana sabate saguna samete taitan, Brahma Bhuya Kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once, transcend the mood of material nature, and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Taking to Krishna consciousness, you remember what Krishna told us what? We should become fixed in this knowledge. That means we should not give up this knowledge. Why Krishna said this? We should not give it up. Because Krishna knows that there will be a lot of challenges. Different things will come to the mind. Different things will be a challenge. So Krishna said, don't stay fixed. And Prabhupada also said many times, if you stick to this process, your success is guaranteed. Why are they saying this? Stick to this process. Be fixed in this knowledge. Take shelter of this knowledge. Because they know it is difficult. There will be so many challenges. How do I know I'm making advancement? I still sleep on Japa, and I still sleep in the class, and I don't wake up on time. Even if I try to wake up on time, I still do like that. I still get angry, and I'm here for 100 years now. I still get angry in my Christian consciousness. I don't know it is working. Maybe I should just change and just go to another thing. I can go and do some yoga and become peace, santi somewhere. This one I'm doing, I don't know if I make an advancement. The Bible bring all these things. Krishna said here, please just stick here. Just stick here. Just be fixed here. Don't go anywhere. Just remain here and properly confirm that. Stick to this process. A success is guaranteed. So, okay, I want to follow. I'm sticking here. But is there any sign that I'm making advancement at all? Yes. There are signs that you're making advancement. What is the sign that I'm making advancement? A sign that we're making advancement despite the fact that I still sleep in a class, that even though we still do like that, we still have the desire to continue. That means you're making advancement. You cannot continue to do something which you're not making some gain. Some gain is there. That when you're not thinking of giving up Krishna consciousness means we're making progress. The mode is being imperceptibly transcended. We are transcending. And one who thinks of giving it up, you're not making advancement. Therefore, Krishna is showing the sign. Krishna is showing us the sign. Krishna always tells us where we are. So we are making advancement, progressing to rise above the mode. When we are not thinking of giving up Krishna consciousness, we still want to continue pushing. We still make effort. Okay, I'm feeling sleepy. I stand up and continue to do my japa, shake my head and keep chanting. If in a class, I stand up in a class, I can hear. We're making effort. That means there is progress, and we will continue to make that progress. Mam chayo of the vicharena. As the vicharena, Krishna mentioned in many places in Bhagavad Gita. In this chapter and also chapter 13, Krishna mentioned it. No break, no holiday, no recreation. Just continue. Just continue. How do we know that the devotional service we do is not in the moods? Devotional service is not in the beginning. It is definitely in the mood. But how do we know it is not in the mood? Kapil Muni, he gave the qualities. He said, a person who is practicing devotional service, and a person in Krishna consciousness is practicing devotional service, and we want So remuneration from it is in a mood. If I want salary from it, if I want pay from it, if I'm expecting something, that is in a mood. And he used the word separatist. Devotional service in the mode of ignorance and passion are performed by separatists. Ignorance and passion, separatists. That means what? Our interest in Krishna consciousness is different from the interest of Krishna. Separatist. That is devotional service in the mood. Devotional service in the mood is not in the mood when we don't have anything to get from Krishna for the service we are doing in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, it's not in the mood. I'm not expecting anything. In the beginning of our coming to Krishna consciousness, this is how we were told. That was the definition of Krishna consciousness given to us. The devotion of Bhakti given to us those days was that devotional service without reason. This is how we were told in the beginning. We are performing devotional service. Why are you in Krishna consciousness? I don't know why I'm in Krishna consciousness. I just want to serve Krishna. This is how we were told in the beginning. And that principle helps us. These days, no pronoun. People don't hear this these days. But this is what we were hearing those days. Why are you chanting Hare Krishna? I don't know why I'm chanting Hare Krishna. I just want to please Krishna. I'm chanting it because I want to please Krishna. I'm doing devotional service because I want to please Krishna. Not because I want to go back to God. I want to go back to heaven. I want to get maturity. I want to get all these things. No, enough for this thing. It is costless. Costless. There's no reason why I'm doing it other than I just want to please Krishna. This is how devotional service were defined for us when we came to the movement. This day we don't hear it. We are hearing big philosophy, but the foundation is not fixed. So our mind is still very speculative. So we should hear this. Separatist. Our bhakti is in the mood. When one practices without expectation, that is pure devotional service. Although it is not yet manifested, but that is a part to that platform. Just like a person who knows the destination to know the road to your destination, and your mobility is very sound. You started the journey. You are as good at reaching there. Only time is separating us from that. Similarly, if one is fixed in Krishna consciousness, the only problem is time. Time. And so proper use the word in due course of time. In due course of time, one will get there. So we should know if we are properly situated in the practice. That should be our concern. If we are properly situated in our practice, then we should stick there, because we know we are going to get there. And Sir Prabhupada confirmed that. Sir Prabhupada confirmed that every devotee fixed in Krishna consciousness is a pure devotee. Huh? Pure devotee? I'm not a pure devotee. Yes, we're not a pure devotee, but we are fixed on the process of pure devotion. So eventually we are going to become pure devotee. Eventually, in due course of time, we'll get there. All right.
Thank you.
𝐸𝐴𝐺𝐸, we don't have any more questions. There's one question from Aditya Prabhu Maharaj. The separatist attitude automatically transcends if one sticks to Krishna consciousness and our intelligence fed with pure purpose.
Yes. If we stick to the process of Krishna consciousness, all the unnecessary things, misunderstanding, illusions, everything, all the darkness will be destroyed. That is a fire of bhakti. Krishna told Uddhava in 11th canto, pure devotional service is like a blazing fire. Whatever you put inside fire, it will turn to ashes in due course of time. So if we stick to the process, even though we have this wrong background, if we stick to the process of Krishna consciousness, by regular practice, what do you say? Which mantra we recite every day? By regular attendance in a Bhagavatam class, regular attendance in Bhagavatam class, regularly attentively here. What will happen? All the Abhadranis. All the Abhadranis will be removed. And the pure devotional service, pure love of God, which is then how to be established as an irrevocable fact. Yes. So there is a chance for everyone in Krishna consciousness to become pure devotee if you simply stick to the process. All right, next.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Jayananda has a question.
Harisham Maharaj. In the first verse, Guru Maharaj is mentioned, if one understands this chapter through the process of philosophical speculation, he will come to an understanding of devotional service.
Yes.
So very often we hear this phrase, philosophical speculation and also mental speculation. But we take those two words very casually. Very often we just ignore them. So if you could draw the contrast between philosophical speculation and mental speculation.
Yes, philosophical speculation. The whole thing, both of them, mental speculation or philosophical speculation, the main thing is that we don't understand what we are doing. We don't understand it. What is speculation? I don't know what I'm talking. I don't know what I'm doing. What I'm just doing, I'm just saying it. I'm just saying something. This is speculation because you're not sure. You're not even confident of what you are saying. So it is speculation because we don't know it. That is the real thing. We don't know. We don't have a scientific proof of what we're saying, what we're doing. We don't have an understanding. But the knowledge is just there. We don't read the book and start talking something. Or I don't hear something. I start to think about it. I have not realized what I'm talking, but I'm just talking about it. So Prabhupada will say the fools and rascals. Fools, rascals. Why we should talk about something we don't know? And that is why they are frustrated. The speculators are frustrated because, according to the traditional 𝐁𝐴𝐴, they're very dry. Very dry. Very dry. Like you are, like, one is eating a plastic banana. Will you get nourished?
No, Guru Maharaj.
We don't get nourished. But if you eat the original banana, you get nourished because there's nutrients to nourish the body. So speculation means we are just taking plastic banana. It's not banana, but it looks like banana. So we don't know that it's not banana. We don't know. But we're just eating because it looks like that. So we say banana. We don't know what it is. Mental, we're just using our brain to speak. We're just using our brain to speak. And our intellectual ability, we're simply exercise of intellectual abilities and mental speculation. Intellectual ability. And if you look at the Gyanis, they seem to have the knowledge. They have the real knowledge. They speak very beautiful words. Beautiful. Full of metaphors and ornamentations. It's full. But it will never satisfy the soul. The soul will remain dry, always. Because we're not getting the real thing. You're not taking the real banana. It is plastic banana. And why are we taking banana instead of plastic instead of real banana? Because you don't know what is banana. And we're talking about it. So that is mental speculation and philosophical speculation. Okay, just hear about something. And we're talking about it, no realization. When he's speaking about something that is real, why would Papa say one should stick to this process? Because he has full realization of what he's very confident in what he has given. And when one tries to it, you can see the result. The result is working. He's acting heavily on all the protections. To stick to this process because he's fully convinced about what he has given. All right.
Yes, thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Yes,
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna.
Gurudev, my question is that we have our Shiksha Gurus, so we take solutions and guidance from them. So they give us some guidance. So do they suffer for out of the decisions that because of the karma? Like, do they suffer when they give us some guidance on a particular?
Guidance from who?
Sorry.
Get guidance from who?
From the Shiksha Gurus, we take some guidance for our material problems. For a particular material situation, we take guidance from our Shiksha Guru, whom we are closely connected. So they give us some guidance and some solution. So do they suffer because of the solution that they give, or do they share some load of our karma if they give us some guidance?
If someone is giving you guidance, so you see if it is good. If it's good, means that it's working for you. The guidance is helping you to get out of the material, whatever problems you have presented to the person. If the solution they give to you is working, you should take it, whether it is a karma or not a karma, what is working for you. It's working for you, you take it. Yeah, it's your karma that you have somebody who can guide you and help you when you have difficulty. Some people, they have problems, they don't have somebody to go to. But you have a good karma that you have somebody you can go to and will help you and give you advice how to resolve the issue you have. So yeah, that is a good karma. All right. So you take it and
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And if it's not working for you, then you know you need somebody else who knows better. That's how we should take things. How we should take things. Whatever is working for us, we should take it. And whatever does not work for us, we reject it.
Okay, thank you, Gurudev.
Thank you very much.
There's no more questions for today.
Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Bhakti Damodara Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai.
Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami ki jai.
Jai.
Guru Premanande, Hari Hari Guru.
Jai.